Clayton, we want to hear from you. What happened that night? How are you holding up, Clayton?
That's the 11-year-old accused of shooting his adopted father, heading into court, facing the judge today. Thanks for being here at 6. I'm Joel D. Smith. You heard the voice of Lily Sexton trying to talk to Dietz on the way into the courtroom as they discuss those charges. Here's Lily right now with more of what we learned today. Lily.
That's right. Today was the first time we got to hear from the lawyer representing 11-year-old Clayton Dietz. Now, they waived inside the courtroom. Dietz waived his right to this preliminary hearing as family members gathered for the child's first day in court. This is Clayton as he walked into the courtroom, accused of shooting his adopted father back in January.
Hey, Clayton, we want to hear from you. What happened that night? How are you holding up, Clayton?
He had no comment outside. According to police, the shooting happened in the middle of the night on January 13th, on Clayton's 11th birthday. Police say Clayton was upset that he was told to go to bed without his Nintendo Switch. Now, during today's preliminary hearing, Clayton and his attorney had the opportunity to convince a judge that there was not enough evidence to bring this case to trial. They decided to waive that right. The judge asked Clayton directly if he was sure of this decision. The child responded yes, the entire proceeding lasting under 5 minutes. Clayton was then escorted out, handcuffs on his hands and feet. Tripping over himself, he told his mother, quote, "It hurts." I spoke to his lawyer. He said he had no comment on their decision to waive today's hearing, but laid out his plans for the trial.
My goal is going to be to try and get him into juvenile court.
Now, Dietz is currently charged as an adult, as all juveniles are when they are facing homicide charges. For now, we're live in Perry County. Lily Sexton, CBS 21 News.
Thanks for staying with us here at 5:30. I'm Joel D. Smith. Behind me, you see 11-year-old Clayton Dietz accused of shooting and killing his father in their Perry County home. He was in court for the first time today, being charged as an adult with criminal homicide after that shooting. Actually happened on his birthday, January 13th. CBS 21's Lily Sexton was outside the courthouse today, was checking things out inside as well. Saw a lot of different things. Were you trying to talk to him on the way in?
I tried. This was the first time we saw or potentially could hear from Clayton Dietz, so I did approach him on his way into the courtroom. First question I asked him was, "We do want to hear from you, Clayton, so what happened on that day?" He didn't have any comment, but I also followed up with, "How are you doing?" As we know, he's been in jail. He's only 11 years old. He didn't have any comment to that either.
What was his demeanor? I mean, it's an 11-year-old. He's being charged with a major crime as an adult, and he's coming into court for the first time.
Right. I'm so sorry. Can you repeat the question?
Just his demeanor. How did he seem to you? You're up close and right next to him.
His demeanor, right. The entire courtroom is very quiet, very on edge, and so was Clayton. He was in the front of the courtroom with his mother. He only said a few words today. He entered the judge twice, and then the one thing I heard him say outside of that interaction with the judge was he said to his mom, "It hurts," while referencing the shackles on he had handcuffs on, he had cuffs on his feet as well. So he was very timid, very, very scared to be in this courtroom. That's how I read his interactions, at least. And I would say that was kind of the how everyone in that courtroom was feeling, all of the family members that I was surrounded by.
He's very young, but the rules in Pennsylvania are very clear. If you're over 10 years old and you are accused of killing someone, you are charged as an adult. That's the way it works. But let's talk about what happened in the courtroom today. What was the process in there?
The hearing itself was very fast. It was under 5 minutes because they waived their right to this preliminary hearing. So outside of the courtroom, I was able to speak to the lawyer, and he kind of laid out his plans for me very quickly about what he wants to do for this trial and his reasoning for waiving this hearing. And he said that he wants to try to get Clayton to be charged as a juvenile. So that process would be kind of unprecedented because, as you said, here in Pennsylvania, if you're charged with homicide, you're charged as an adult. So we have to see how this plays out.
It's very difficult to get it kicked back down to the juvenile level. But let's talk about his motivation that we've learned through court documents, the reason he says he ended up killing his stepfather that night.
What we've learned from court documents?
his reasoning for why he shot his father.
So what we know so far is that this took place on Clayton's 11th birthday. He told police in the affidavit, in the interview room, according to the affidavit, he told police that he was upset that his video game was taken away from him on his birthday. So that night he got up and he was looking for that Nintendo Switch, and instead he found a gun. And according to police, that's when he shot his father while he was sleeping. According to police in that interview room, they asked him what he thought would happen when he shot his father, and he said that he hadn't thought that far.
Right.
So I don't think this, according to this affidavit, it wasn't a thought-out plan. It was
Right.
something that happened in the moment.
Yeah, when he was looking for it, he ended up finding the keys instead to the gun safe, and then we know what happened after that, according to police. All right, Lily Sexton, thanks again for giving us a feel of what that courtroom was like today.